But one phrase that we've heard over and over since the death of Steve Jobs was announced is he changed the world.
And it would be hard to find anyone who would disagree with that. We begin our coverage this morning with CBS News correspondent John Blackstone, who is outside Apple's headquarters in Cupertino, California this morning. John, good morning.
Good morning, Erica. Well, here at Apple's headquarters, the flags have been lowered to half-staff. People have been coming by here and to Jobs' home in nearby Palo Alto to leave flowers and condolences. Well, Steve Jobs' death touched people around the world. Here in Silicon Valley, it's especially personal. People have been stopping by here, began gathering here soon after his death was announced.
A piper played just outside Apple's headquarters as admirers left messages of condolence. In his signature blue jeans and black turtleneck, Steve Jobs became familiar as Apple's super salesman. Somehow, he knew how to create products we just couldn't resist.
Oh, Light Tunnel's really great when you want to sort of play God here.
The Macintosh was the first easy-to-use computer. The iPod revolutionized the music industry. The iPhone changed our idea of what a cell phone should do.
iPhone is like having your life in your pocket. It's the ultimate digital device.
The iPad has made tablet computers the next big thing.
It's so much more intimate than a laptop.
Even as the public face of Apple, Jobs was extremely protective of his privacy. But in a 2005 commencement speech at Stanford University, he spoke revealingly of his early life and his birth in 1955.
My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption.
He grew up south of San Francisco in what would become Silicon Valley, starting Apple in his parents' garage in 1976. By 1981, long before most people had ever touched a personal computer, a bearded Steve Jobs told CBS News he was certain computers would become an essential part of our lives.
It's not going to happen at once. It's just going to be very gradual and very human, and will seduce you into learning how to use it.
And with product after product, Jobs did seduce millions into buying Apple's stylish devices. In 2009, after a 6-month medical leave from Apple, Jobs returned and uncharacteristically spoke directly about his health.
5 months ago, I had a liver transplant. So I'm vertical. I'm back at Apple, loving every day of it.
But more health problems followed. In January this year, he took another medical leave, but then showed up at an Apple conference in June.
And thank you very much.
In August, he announced he was stepping down as CEO, saying he was no longer able to continue. Late yesterday, Apple's website simply put up Jobs' picture. In a statement, Apple said, "The world is immeasurably better because of Steve."
Now, Steve Jobs was famously private and secretive, but through the products he created, millions around the world came to feel they know him. Erica, Chris?
John Blackstone this morning at Apple's headquarters. John, thanks. That graduation speech at Stanford that John referred to has been viewed now more than 5 million times on YouTube. Jobs gave the speech less than a year after revealing he was being treated for cancer.
We want to show you more of that speech in which Jobs addresses his mortality in typical head-on fashion.
Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart.
So much in that speech, so inspiring and just incredible to listen to.